So do you want me to just hop into the intro, or do you want me to?
No. We're gonna do a shorter intro. So, if I'm not paying attention or whatever, for whatever reason, I start going, the intro goes more than 5 minutes. I want to let's keep it tight. 5 minutes this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't go, all right, let's do the intro. Then you cut me off wherever we are. We're like, we should jump into the episode, and then. All right, we're back, and this is how I want to get started. You know what? As we were just talking, I realized I love keeping the headset on when I'm doing a podcast because it puts me in that podcast groove.
Mm-hmm.
We just did a full episode, more or less. I think we stopped around the 45-minute mark. I got up to go pee, and then I was like, I came back, and we just started talking about some of the notes and some of the topics that we just did, and the whole time we were recording, I'm like, I'm not happy about that. I don't like the episode we just recorded or what we had recorded at that point. And you had some great notes for me as a podcaster.
Yeah, he talks too much.
And I honestly felt like, and part of why I took the headset off is I think I was too much in the podcast mind, and because of that, I was not able to catch a real groove and do what I am trying to do with this podcast, and the way I want to become a better podcaster is provide more genuine and authentic content, I guess, is the main objective here. And I think for this episode, need to just take the headset off. You did that on the non-released episode, the thing that was garbage. Just guys, you don't want to see it. Well, maybe you do. Maybe this makes you want to see it.
I know. Now you made them want to see it.
Yeah,
but mainly just to be like, oh, let's see how bad it was, and then they'll probably watch 3 minutes of the 45 and be like, oh yeah, he was pretty trash. Yeah.
So for the analytic, you're not going to see that until I put it on a Patreon and go, you really want to see it? You've already paid for it. So I felt like in order to get back into that just genuine conversation and to pull out, we still have the same list of topics, some things that we can go into today. But I'm taking off the headset because just like at the Mic 'em Up studio, oh my gosh,
Look at that.
The A0HD. Check us out on YouTube. But just like our AOHD stuff, like we're just vibing that studio the whole time. And then some of the time is recorded, and even less of the time that's recorded, you guys actually get to go see. We're vibing out. We're having a good time. We're chatting. You're breaking down Marvel Universe, the anime like the Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Slayer or this Bleach or Demon. What did I say?
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, dude, great. Let's create that now. No, what you were telling me about one the other day? Something about like the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, yep.
Is that the name of it?
That's the name of the show.
Dude, I got it. I nailed it. Mm-hmm. See, I listen. I talk a lot, but I listen. If you watch the last episode, that was one of the questions: who listens better or more? Either way.
Oh yeah, with you and Booth Babe.
Yeah, me and Booth Babe. Check it out. That was a fun fucking episode. Episode 95. There's a little Valentine's ordeal. I got all my pinks on. We're drinking rosé. I even made a pink logo just for that fucking episode. What am I doing? I go all out sometimes. But I mean, come on, like this is a good enough intro for the episode. You ready
to hit it?
Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's try this one again. Oh, that's so fucking weird because I'm like used to hearing it. All right, let me get a quick. another episode of Ever Changing ViBE. That's what you guys are listening to. That's what you clicked on, so I don't need to tell you that. And just for fuck's sake, do you really want to know the episode number? I know it. Do you know it? If you don't, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, if I've finally done that by now, or whatever else, just look at the title of the video or the podcast, and that's the number. I usually lead it off. Doesn't matter. I just want to I want to get into our first topic.
Yeah. How about, because I know that on the last one, you were just like kind of all over the place. I kind of want to pick some topics that I know you were pretty excited about.
Sure.
So we'll start off with the one that I know that, like, even at the studio, you were super excited about. So why not start off with Warzone? Because I know you were super excited about the whole new nuke thing.
And this
so why don't you hop onto that?
Guy. All right. So, we last Tuesday I went up to the studio to do some AOHD content. I forget what we were recording. A couple of music, maybe a Dragon Ball Z or two. And I never do this, especially like when I'm focusing on creating content. I never try to separate my attention, but I've been following Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx, Cloaksy, and Face Swag or Face Doozy go for the nuke challenge. The nuke challenge in and of itself is fucking insane, and I've been so drawn to it, and I've been really like captivated by this challenge that they've been doing as this squad. So of recording this, so today is February 2nd. They finally, that team, that squad finally completed the nuke challenge. The four of them, they got their first nuke together, and I was funny. I was watching it live the whole time. They got their 5 wins. Then they got I think they missed their first 2 attempts. And as they were getting their last attempt, Booth Babe got home, and I'm cooking up some, dude, I fucking killed the steak.
Oh, yeah?
I a little bit overcooked the steak, but, dude, the flavor was there, and I made some rice and some asparagus, some, like, Parmesan garlic asparagus. I really went all out.
Look at you. You cooked literally almost the exact same meal I did that night.
Yeah.
Like,
but
the only difference was that I cooked the asparagus a little different. That, like, literally word for word. I cooked the exact same thing.
No, you made salmon, dude.
No. That night when I went home.
Oh, you're saying, I got you. Yeah. So, what was that, Wednesday night?
Yeah.
You made,
I made steak, rice, asparagus.
What cut of steak did you make?
Oh, I used, what's that? The one that's like pulllier. I can't remember the name. Is it?
I had the.
They're usually
ribeye.
I did not use ribeye. No. It was more. You know the ones that are they come in like longer.
Oh yes, strips.
Yeah, they're not strips.
No. New York strip is something else.
Yeah, it's
Jamie,
regardless.
Pull it up.
Let's see, different cuts of steaks. But in the meantime, continue your story.
I love all the like breaking down of like the subcultures of all the different things, and as I've like started to expand my cooking abilities, I guess you'll put them. I've tried out some different like cuts of steak, etc. Or start to understand like what cuts of steak work with other like side dishes, etc. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm watching their stream. She gets home, and as she's kind of sirloin. You made a sirloin?
I made a sirloin.
Let me see those.
These ones.
Oh yeah, I made a ribeye for sure.
Yeah,
what's that cut? That's the sirloin.
This is sirloin.
All right. And have you ever
like
seen the diagram?
Sirloin bavette?
Have you ever seen the diagram of the like that mirrored next to the cow? So you see.
Oh
like,
yeah, where it comes from.
Yeah, what part of the cow it is? That's so cool. That's such a side note. ADHD. Let's go.
All right, there he goes.
So I was kind of like making dinner and everything. I had the oven going.
There's wait. I think I found the skirt steak. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. That's the
skirt. Oh my gosh, I think skirt was today's Wordle.
Well, that's funny. But yeah, it was the skirt steak that I had cooked because it's like it tends to be pulley. Like the meat doesn't like necessarily stay together. You're able to like kind of pull it apart, and it's a lot more chewy. And I like to use that too, like the skirt steak when I like make ramen and stuff as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'd use. But back to gaming.
Yeah, gaming. So the Warzone. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm watching them get challenge after challenge. I'm watching them. They have a good game going. I'm really hopeful about this game. I'm getting excited for them. And Booth Babe was like, "Hey, while you're finishing cooking, do you mind if I just watch the rest of my show?" She's watching Bachelor, the new season of Bachelor, and I'm like, "Yeah, honestly, that's probably better because I kind of want to watch this as I'm doing cooking, and like I don't want to be walking back and forth. So like, go do your thing. This will be ready in a little bit." But in the way that I do anything, I have to over-explain and go into it. Mm-hmm. So I started explaining to her the whole challenge of it all. And then as I'm explaining the challenge, she's like, "Yeah, you've told me all this already. I already know this whole challenge." She's like, "I pretty much know the people that are in this challenge that you're watching." She's like, "I'm just going to go watch Bachelor." I'm like, "Okay." And I look over. They literally are in the last, 5 seconds of defending the bomb. And then it blows up. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I just sat here and explained the whole thing as it was happening finally. And I, kind of missed it happen live. I was so mad. I had to go back and rewatch it and everything. But let me break down quickly that Warzone nuke challenge. So with the new Warzone 2.0, one of the things that Infinity Ward, the company that put out the game, created was if you and your squad win 5 games in a row, you unlock a challenge. In order to complete, you get a nuke, which rather than beating every person in the lobby and being the last surviving of the Battle Royale, if you set off that nuke, you win the game. It kills everybody, whatever. You get a big accolade. You get, certain items, what's the word? Jewelry for digital, aesthetics. No, not aesthetics. Certain aspects of the game that, show that, whatever. You get a trophy that anybody who plays against you can see that it's like an accomplishment almost. Yeah, your accomplishment can be seen by anybody who fights against you. So, whether you switch into go from Battle Royale to multiplayer, if you have that emblem or that title, people go, "Oh, that guy got the nuke. That's impressive. That guy's good at the game," kind of thing. So once you get the 5 wins in a row with that squad, you can enter, I think it's up to 3, maybe 4 games in order to complete the in-game challenge. That in-game challenge, you have to acquire 4 items that are scattered across the entire map randomly. So, each time you do this challenge, they could be in different locations, different points of interest along the map. And each one of those items have to be held by one of the people on your squad. And each one of the items also give you a negative impact. So there's one item that when you pick it up, as long as you're holding it, it puts this big target. So everybody who's in that lobby at that time knows exactly, it's whatever the emblem is in the mini map. It puts I think it's a crown, and it puts this little crown on your character. So as you move around, they get
Everyone
to see in live exactly where you are at all times. So you're watching, everybody knows to go target that guy, to go kill that guy, because him and his team is trying to set off this nuke. Another one, whoever's holding the item, it scrambles their entire screen. So their entire screen is digital, and you can't really,
so almost pixelates it?
Pixelates the entire screen. So every time you're in a gunfight or trying to do anything, it's harder to do those things. And the third item, I think, if I remember correctly, slowly damages you. So there's certain items within the game that if you're that can give you little health boosts and stuff, but it doesn't matter because from the moment you start holding it until you drop it, like it's deducting every like 10 seconds another like interval of health. And I don't know what the fourth item does or if it does anything, but you have to hold all these items. You go to the site that they randomly select for you for where the bomb is got to be made, essentially. You bring all those items to that bomb site. You have to drop them off. And then you have to set the bomb, and then you have to defend the bomb before it detonates. And everybody in the lobby knows exactly where the bomb is, so everyone's trying to go because if that bomb goes off, they lose. So if you're trying to win the game, you have to stop the team from doing the nuke, and you have to win the battle royale after that. So, with doing it live streaming, the term is stream snipers. So all the people that like live stream, especially the bigger, more professional gamers, are doing, like they're live streaming them trying to complete this huge challenge. Everybody that is watching them has them pulled up on one monitor or one laptop or another screen, and then they're doing what's called stream sniping. So they're finding ways
It's actually just 3 of them.
Oh, there's 3 items, and then those 3 items go into the bomb.
Yes.
So everybody starts stream sniping, so they know they're literally like watching exactly where you are when you are there. They know what you're doing. They can hear all the comms, the communication. Like, all right, there's a guy lower level. So if you call out a guy lower level because you have the piece of the bomb, the chemical, whatever, that person who's watching your stream knows that you just called them out. So now they start playing the game differently, and they're literally just going to stop you. They're just trying to stop you from completing the challenge. And especially with the popular streamers, this was happening on the old Warzone without this challenge. People would try to enter those lobbies so that they could kill Nick Merckx or Tim the Tatman, just so that everybody watching Tim the Tatman stream sees that person's gamer tag. So like they're almost incentivized to like kill you and to ruin your game. But it changed the whole gaming experience. Like,
how long did it take for the people to get the nuke though?
The squad. So I started watching them almost daily, unless I like was too busy the day. But they stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The 4 of them. And Nick Merckx was a big Warzone streamer. Got bored of Warzone right around the time I got bored of Warzone. Switched over to Apex. And it wasn't until like the end of December that he's like, I'm going to come back to Warzone. You have a question?
That didn't answer the question that I asked.
Oh, I'm still getting there.
Okay.
So Nick Merckx finally came back to Warzone. So there was this big like hype about Nick Merckx playing Warzone again. So I started watching them do that challenge every single day for about a month, the month of January, almost. And they might have done it a little bit before January, maybe a week or 2 into January. I don't know exactly when that squad started. But time after time, they kept fucking losing. And then there were some days that like Tim the Tatman's doing a sponsored stream with another creator or another streamer or another company, so couldn't be part of the squad. And there was one, and I watched this one live, where that squad had to sub out Tim the Tatman because he was doing a sponsored stream that day, subbed in someone else, and Nick Merckx got his first Warzone nuke, and it was this huge hype event. And I thought, all right, they're done. He's going to go back to Apex, whatever. Well, that was I think it was on like a Friday night. The next week, all those streamers, the same 4, were talking about like, well, we still haven't got one with this squad. So now I start watching them play it again, go so close. They get 4 games in a row, lose. 3 games in a row, lose. 4 games in a row, lose. And that's all in one day. That's like 20 wins in one day, but not 5 in a row. So like they kept getting so close to this challenge and just losing. One last week, they got the 5 wins in a row, got the nuke challenge, and Nick Merckx dev errored, so it canceled the streak, so they couldn't go for the nuke anymore. And it was the most upsetting thing. And I was like, dude, this is doomed. There's no way they're going to win or complete this challenge as the 4 of them. And the other thing with it being the 4 of them is like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman of the 4 have the highest views, but them 2 alone have almost 70,000 people viewing them live. And then FaZe Swag and Cloaksy get about 10 to 20,000 each. They have over 100,000 people watching them. So normally when you're going for this challenge, as you're getting closer, there's the in-game event called the jailbreak where anyone who's still in the lobby can come back. Typically, when you lose the game of Warzone, you leave and you start up a new game. But because you're in the lobby with them, you stay because you know that jailbreak's coming. You spawn back in, and then you keep trying to stream snipe. Because they had 100,000 viewers, every single time the lobby would go from, like, it starts at 150, it would drop all the way to like 30. The jailbreak would happen, and it would go back up to 80. On average, that jailbreak should only bring you back up to maybe 50. So, like, they knew that all these people are coming back, and most of the lobby, almost like 50% of the lobby, are in that game knowing that it's that squad, and their only focus is to kill that squad. So that's why, like, this whole event is, like, it's been, like, my Super Bowl. Like, it's just, like, they are doing a challenge that no one else has to do. They are not only trying to complete one of the most difficult challenges in gaming that I've ever witnessed, but they're trying to do it at a level with stream snipers, essentially cheaters, entering their lobbies that are focusing on stopping them from doing the challenge. It is the most insane thing. So to, like, keep watching these live, and obviously they're not just great video gamers and great at the game Warzone itself, but, like, they're great content creators. So, like, at the end of each lobby, like, they're chatting back and forth, like, sometimes they're, like, all yelling at one guy because it's like, why the fuck did you destroy the helicopter? We needed that to... And then they're all getting mad at each other, and then they're all resetting the new game, and then like, they get really close, they start building a streak, they're all hyping each other up, then it ends, and it's just such a great dynamic, and they all do such a great job providing the content with this impossible challenge, and then they finally fucking accomplish it, dude. It was unreal.
Heard. Now, do you think, now that it's done, that he's going to leave again?
Well, he was on today. They were all playing again today. So part of why he even came back, Nick Merckx even came back to Warzone, is because Apex is in a season transition. So all of Apex's Battle Royale, like, tournaments and stuff are held mostly during, like, the spring and the summer. And as the winter kind of ends, like the fall and the winter, like, the last couple tournaments happen, and then it's like the start of a new season. So once you kind of, like, get all the accomplishments for the new season, there's nothing really to do. It's kind of just stale, boring. It just keeps repeating. So that's why he even came back to Warzone. And he's kept saying, like, once that, like, tournament season kind of kicks back into gear, he's going to go back to Apex. Mm-hmm. From time to time, I'm sure he'll jump on Warzone, especially, like, seeing the success. Because even when he first went to Apex, he definitely lost a good chunk. Not a majority or nothing, but, like, a good chunk of viewership. Like, there was a lot of people that, like,
they were
found him because of Warzone.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're tuning in because of Warzone and watching him because of Warzone. And also, like, certain streamers, like, Tim the Tatman is not only known for, but, like, one of his most common streams is Call of Duty and Warzone. So that's, like, the only time you get to see Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx playing together is on Warzone. So a lot of people kind of, like, stop watching because of that, because they're not playing the game that they play. Like, that's why I stopped watching, a lot of streamers. Like, I watch a streamer because the game I'm playing at the time, the game that I'm into, they're playing. And I'm watching them for their content. and like their ability to have fun with the chat and everything, but also like what's the mechanic, like what's their strategy, what's their game plan, like, oh, what guns are they using in this map, and how are they, like, you know, what contracts are they trying to do to complete so they can get more, like, learning about the game, but also with the content. So yeah, I think I played at Apex a little bit, but like I never had enough fun, so I can only imagine there being a lot of people like me. But
I can imagine that for sure. And then I also have another question, leading back to a question that we had asked. I think it was pre-show. Do you see it being a sport?
Esports, yeah. I mean, I feel like the competition has always been there, and esports is legitimately a thing. So you can't even argue with that. Like, yeah. What level will it reach? I keep being surprised by the different levels, not just of like the competition that exceeds itself in the skills and the talent behind the players playing the different esports, but the fans and the viewership and the audience. And like, dude, there's literally like, you can get a FaZe Atlanta like jersey, like for all the esports competitions. Like, so it's almost more the marketing that I have belief in what esports has become. Like the NFL, people can watch football. You can watch Pee Wee football whenever, like whatever.
I think
like
even
kids playing.
WWE had a football league at one point.
Exactly. What was that, XFL or something like that? Like, yeah, there's gonna be football that you can always watch, but there's a difference between it being a sport, like ping pong. Like ping pong is a sport. It's in the Olympics. Gymnastics, Olympics. Like cheerleading, wherever you stand on that debate that I don't feel like it's even had anymore. But I remember like middle school, high school, college, that was always like, is cheerleading a sport? Like, I think there's a sport because there's a competition, but like, I think there's a different level when you're talking about sports, and it's not about the activity, the fitness, the players, the athletes. It's almost more about the audience, like the people who are viewing it, the fans, the cultures that are created that like makes me believe in a sport. Because I kind of noticed this throughout like this past World Cup, where soccer gets so much hate in America, but people started to introduce themselves into soccer and going to like little like soccer bars, or like, you know, football bars or whatever it is, to watch the game, even if they don't really know who Argentina is. If you go to an Argentina bar and everyone's rooting for it, like that vibe, that atmosphere that you are a part of is a bigger point in the sport, for the sport, than the athletes and the people that play. Because what that does is it creates a thrill, it creates an excitement, so that if I see my dad getting super excited about, I don't know, like soccer, when I'm a young kid, I want to do soccer because like that's what I see adults getting excited about. Like I want to be the next soccer athlete or baseball player or whatever. Now, and I'm kind of at that age, like you know, my peers have kids, and some of my peers have kids that are already kind of like getting older and growing up. They're gonna see us not only get excited about, you know, the Super Bowl and football and maybe baseball or basketball, but they're like, when I have kids, they're gonna see me watching streams and get excited for that, for watching esports, like competitive esports. And then they're gonna go, well, I'm not just playing this game to, you know, kill some time, my little hobby. Like, there's future in this. So creating that atmosphere, creating that vibe, it's not something that you can or cannot do. It's literally something that just happens. And I've seen it happen and continues to grow with esports, that like, I think just young kids are going to start learning, like in the same way that they looked up to Michael Jordan, like, oh, if I just dribble every day and I shoot 1,000 free throws throughout every week, or now I'm going to try to do, 100 free throws a day, or whatever it is, then they start to go like training to be a certain thing. Now they're training to be like basketball players, and especially when you start to put money into these things, and like even companies and endorsements and sponsors go, well, there's a lot of eyes on this. Let me get a part of this so that, Gillette can get their, more razors sold. They're putting more money to make a greater complex, create a stadium that's bringing more eyes into it. Now it's like there's so much going into esports, and that keeps growing. Like, dude, it's gonna be I think it already has been on ESPN, but I feel like it'll be like almost regularly on a like network channel. Like, here's this esports tournament. Here's the Call of Duty finals. Here's the League of Legends, which is a huge one. That one is one of the biggest esports right now, is League of Legends. Yeah.
But I mean, it's all what people love, right? Like, I think there would be no market for it if it was like, if people didn't love it, right? If people weren't interested in it, then it would just die off. But speaking of love,
oh no,
I know you were just telling me about you going jewelry shopping the other day.
Last week's episode, we had a nice little Valentine's episode with Booth Babe, and this past week, I did some jewelry shopping. Fucking weird experience. I went twice. The first day I went mostly just not window shop, but like get an idea, because like I felt like I had a budget in my head. Like I knew like more or less what I wanted to spend and what I wanted to do. But I wanted to know like what
you're good
jewelry actually costs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Expensive.
More so than I anticipated. Let's be real.
Surprise.
I went into a jeweler, like a name brand jeweler store. I don't want to say names because I had a great time there, and everybody was the guy that like was kind of like showing me around, and like I would be like, all right, so what's that? What am I looking for? Is like. And then he was explaining, like, weighted or not. Like, so I started learning about jewelry, and I felt that when I left, I felt so awful. And it wasn't no one looked down on me, because, like, I even told the guy at one point, like, I'm a teacher. Like, I not only have a budget because it's, like, it's an anniversary, and I also got Valentine's coming up. And, like, I don't want to, like, overspend and buy two things and go too big, especially, like, me and Booth Babe have only been together for a year, so it's like I don't want to make such a big stamp on 1 year, like, because mentally I know each year I'm gonna try to one up myself in a way, whether that's like financially or finance plus
effort.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to go big, but reasonable, and I don't want to like overwhelm and scare her or whatever. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but the guy was very reasonable. He's like, yeah, he's talking me through the different options, the different prices, etc. But when I walked out of there, I just felt like I was wasting his time, and I felt so bad about that, because I was like, not only do I like, I went in there knowing I wasn't going to buy that day, but, like, maybe I'll come back on, like, Wednesday or whatever and pick out one of the things that he showed me. But then as I was there, I'm like, I don't think I can come back. And, like, I felt embarrassed. Like, not only do I not know what I can afford now that I've seen that, like, what my budget was, like, a margin below what my budget needed to be. I was also, like, I didn't understand the like subculture of like weighted versus unweighted versus like gold plated versus like whatever, and 14 versus 10 karat or 18 karat, like, and since I left there, I was like, oh dude, I'm like doing my research. I'm like figuring out those things, so the next time I go back, I don't feel as embarrassed. But yeah, I just felt
so you ended up going back.
Sort of.
Okay.
I felt really bad, and I just like couldn't face the embarrassment. Like if I walked back into that store and that same guy was working there, and just like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I just felt bad for him. Like, I mean, I assume he's making commissions or doing like he's being paid for his time. So like I feel bad that like. Not that I at the time like I went, it wasn't busy at all. Like there was like 3 guys that like were kind of just doing stuff behind the desk. But I still felt like, you know, at any point someone else could have walked in that was gonna buy something. I just like didn't want.
You didn't want to take away from the commission you could have made.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it's so deep. I really want to like find out what that feeling was internally, because it wasn't just like feeling bad for him. It was like I felt like gross. I felt like I think that's the best word. Like I literally felt gross leaving there. Like as a not a bad person, but just like, what am I doing? Who am I? Like what the fuck am I like? And I just knew I needed to find jewelry, but so I went over to another place, a place that has I guess deals. I don't want to like out because if Booth Babe or any of your friends listen to this, I don't want you. You're not gonna know. I'll tell Gio off air, but you guys don't get to know.
All right, you ready? Beep. No.
And I found some earrings at a pretty reasonable price, and at this place they were on like they were doing. I think it was like a Valentine's event. So they had it like on a bonus sale. So like the 14 karat gold earrings were way cheaper than even the store discount was offering them at. Like it was this cool, it was a collab deal or something at this place. And as I'm like talking to the person there, I started to share like really what I felt like has been the dumbest thing about dating Booth Babe that I've done dating Booth Babe, and
saved himself, didn't he?
And that was becoming official 10 days before Valentine's Day, because I realized every fucking year I'm gonna have to do something for our anniversary, and then a couple days later I gotta do something for Valentine's Day. I fucking hate Valentine's Day. That last episode was a fucking show for you guys. I'm an actor. Pretty fucking good one. But, no, and even last year, we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, like, we didn't do anything big. In fact, I think we hung out. She spilled wine all over my brand new, beautiful yellow sweatshirt, and
so that was the dumb thing, huh?
We had a great time. No. Don't get me in trouble. We had a great time. I really enjoyed the Valentine's Day, but I mean, even this past year, like this is the most I've ever done for like Christmas or for Thanksgiving. Like I usually like to take holidays pretty lightly. I like to be contrarian in a way where I like to be against all holidays. I like to be against all decorations, all that, and I've opened up a lot with those other ones, but I don't know, like I want to do something special for my girlfriend because I want to do something special. It doesn't have to be tied to a day. Like I can cook an amazing dinner. I can take her out on a random day. I can buy her flowers during the summer or the spring. Like I don't want, cause like to me, it doesn't feel like if I got her a big gift forced or something for Valentine's Day, part of her, like when I try to put myself in her
expectation.
Well, part of the expectation, creates the expectation. But it like if she got me something for Valentine's Day, actually, I don't think I would do this like the opposite way. But this is how I think of it. It's like you got me this just because it's Valentine's Day, not because you care about me or you thought about me or something special. Like that's what I feel like she's thinking when I get her flowers on Valentine's Day. When I do something different on like, all right, I cook an amazing dinner and buy a expensive bottle of wine for us. Like you're doing that because it's Valentine's Day. Like no, I'm doing that because it's you and you're special to me. Like, and I'd rather do that on either our anniversary on a day that's special to us, or just randomly make a new day that's special to us. Make a memory that's special to us. Not because then I feel like it's so easy to forget Valentine's Day and like, oh yeah, you got me these earrings because they were Valentine's, or you got me flowers because it was Valentine's.
You still have yet to tell me what the dumbest thing was.
Oh, it was getting in a relationship like just before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Our anniversary is right before Valentine's Day.
That's when you guys just like pair them together. You know, like when you have like multiple kids and their birthdays are close.
How do I do that?
You just make it an official thing. Like one day you're just like,
all right. So I'm gonna go out for
example, like my birthday falls on like Father's Day every so often. I already know that like eventually, like I'm not getting 2 gifts on my birthday, you know, like.
Oh, my birthday falls on Mother's Day regularly.
So you both get a gift.
So guess what happens? Guess what day that is?
The day that
it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
It's always Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's never wALiE's birthday. No, it's Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes we go out to like, you know, lunch or whatever. We have a good time. When we get home, oh yeah, here's your gift. Like, I'm the middle child. Give me the attention. I like the gift is great. Thanks.
Oh,
but I want to open the gift in front of everybody so everybody's looking at me. That's what I want. I'm the middle child. I need every ounce of attention I can get. And now I got to share my birthday with my mom. Every day is Mother's Day. Like it doesn't matter what day of the year is Mother's Day. We can do it on a Saturday or a Wednesday or whatever. Like, we can go out. We can celebrate Mother's Day. We can celebrate mothers whenever. Why do we got to do it on the only day that I can celebrate, you know, the next year of being alive? Like, this is the one day that I was born in the entire year. Let's celebrate this is the one day. I can't just go, oh, my birthday is actually going to, like, we'll celebrate it on Tuesday. Because it's like,
never have more than 2 kids. You create the middle child, he gets weird.
Or you create a content creator
that complains about how he's the middle child.
Yeah.
So only 2. Only 2.
Only 2.
I actually had a
or 17 and just forget about all of them.
So 2.
You don't want to Nick Cannon the situation?
No. But I did actually have a friend back in the day, and this is how I know that like I'm one of the oldest, and not like you. Is I remember one of my friends, their father one day. It was my birthday, and he was just like, "Have you called your mom?" I was like, "Call my mom," and I was like, "She should be calling me. It's my birthday, right?" And he goes, and this is when I'm in California, by the way. He goes, "Well, I like to look at it as like, it's not your birthday, but it's your mother's day. This is the day that she pushed and did all that work for you to have you. So it's like, it's not just your day. This is her day. Don't forget to give her her time." And I was just like, you know what? You're right. I need to call my mom. And I called my mom for my birthday. And
I get that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm too petty, and I've shared too many Mother's Days.
Whereas you were just like, nah, fuck Mother's Day.
No, fuck Mother's Day.
Maybe you just revisit at Father's Day.
My 21st birthday was on Mother's Day, and we went out to this like place in Boston, like this nice little like seafood Italian restaurant, and I just remember like, oh, I'm gonna order so many. I'm gonna make her mad. I'm gonna get drunk. I ordered like 2 espresso martinis and like maybe a mojito because I finally could, because it was finally my birthday. And I couldn't even get the negative attention that I was seeking. I didn't even get that drunk. We just had Mother's Day. It was another great Mother's Day.
So remember,
I'm
2
petty.
kids.
Petty
2 kids. 2. Only
Have
2. And that might already be enough. Like, or more than enough, I should say. But either way, what did you end up getting her, by the way? You said the earrings, right?
Oh, yeah. I got this beautiful, beautiful 14
And at this point, I'm assuming it's already...
Yeah. She'll know. So
okay. Surprise.
You can't soil it. I'll just show you real quick. So...
Oh, those are pretty.
Not only are they pretty, so...
That's the price?
Not what I paid.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that little sticker was there. So kind of to go.
He love you.
So no. I just need her.
that got depressing real quick. I just need her.
So one of our like, you know, when you're early in a relationship and then and you guys kind of like almost create too many inside jokes, just because like you're trying to like have those little things with that person or like little excuses to text them randomly. So you create those little like inside jokes. But some of them actually last throughout, like you always reference back. One of them, and this is just like, I don't know, something that I do, if I, like, whether I know something or not, like, if I feel like I know what it is, I just say what I think I know and let myself be corrected. So one time she's putting on earrings. Plan. She's a huge earrings person. Like, she collect, like, all those, like, whenever we're at the flea market, all those, like, local artists and stuff that make the clay ones, all the different, like, she has a hot dog or like, little apple ones. She's a teacher. Like, she's got an earring for any occasion. Like, and she's got nicer earrings and, like, fun earrings. And she has, like, little, like, she had those, like, Christmas light bulb earrings for Christmas. Like, she's got everything. So I know she's a big earring person. That's part of why I got that as the gift. But one of the times, probably a couple months into us dating, she was going through her earrings and she's like, why don't you pick out what earrings I'm going to wear? And I'm like, all right, I don't know. Go with the loops. She looks at me like, what did you just say? Like the loop ones. I like the loops. What? The one, like the circle. What do you mean? She's like, they're called hoops. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, yeah, go with those. Well, ever since we had a little like back and forth, like, hilarious, like kind of making fun of me. Like, they're called who, like, and then like a couple days later, she was going through her earrings or something. And I knew she might ask me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna surprise her. I know what it is." This is before the inside joke really started to happen. I was like, "They're called loops."
I had a feeling.
She just fucking taught me. I know that. I'm like, and I'm trying to like be all slick. I'm like, you know which ones I really like? I really like those gold loops. She's like, huh? I'm like, that was your react? Like, I just gave you the suggestion. I just helped you out. She's like, what do you mean? Like, you weren't just making a joke? I'm like, what joke? The loops. Like, what? They're called hoops. Fuck, I knew it. I knew it was the other one. I knew it was the other one. And then ever since, like, we always, like, go back and forth. Like, whenever she's going through her earrings, I'm like, the loops. So the ones I got, I got gold loops, but they also, each one is, like, a double. Like, so there's 2 loops on each, and they kind of, like, intercross. So I was like
a helix.
4 loops. Can't go wrong. So, yeah. Heard.
So that's going to definitely turn into a fun little inside joke reminder, I'm sure.
Yeah, great. Wow. Yeah, I'm probably going to tell her that I talked about this as soon as I get. Oh, wait, no, fuck, dude.
No, you cannot.
I'm so nervous. Like, not only am I nervous about accidentally spoiling it, because, like, I just had this huge experience that I told you guys about with, like, going to the jewelers for the first time and, like, feeling stupid, but also, like, now I'm getting excited about, you know, I actually made a purchase and I'm ready to show her, and, like, and she's the one, whenever something, like, happens, whenever I have a revelation, I always share it with her. I'm always, like, so excited. Like, she's the first one that has to know, whether it's, like, the dumbest thing I did, like, oh, shit, I peed myself when I was at school, or I don't just have the pee problem at the podcast. Like, that happens all the time. Or, like, I did something dumb at, like, in front of my friends. I'm like, I have to tell her, or, like, oh my gosh, I finally realized, like, this whole time, the cast iron pan can be used. And I don't know. I tried to do another metaphor, and it doesn't matter. These metaphors don't matter.
You're afraid of telling her.
I always tell her the things. And I was so excited. As soon as I bought them, I almost called her, like, hey, I'm leaving Macy's. I'm just, oh my gosh, I just fucking dropped it. Whatever. You know now. Doesn't matter. Don't tell her.
Y'all can tell her now.
Bleep. And I was like literally walking out to my car, scrolling through my like contacts, and I was like, I gotta call my mom. I gotta call somebody else. Like because I needed to tell somebody. So I called my mom or my dad, whatever. I tell them whatever. I do that for the whole car ride home. She got home that day. I'm like so excited to tell her. I'm like, can't tell her. I am most nervous about our anniversary. We have a dinner date, like a reservation and everything. I'm nervous that I will forget to put it in my jacket, the little like gift in my jacket, so that I can give it to her there. And I'm going to get back from our date and be like, oh yeah, another thing. And I'm also scared that before that, I might just tell her. Like, because what I just told you guys on this story is like what I can't wait to tell her. Like, about me going to the jeweler for the first time. Like, I share everything with her. Like, so this is so weird to keep from her. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, and I feel so like bad that I'm not telling her this little secret. Like, not lying to her, because I don't know how to lie. And
just think about it this way, right? You're not telling her now, and that's fine, because you're gonna tell her like 17 different times once you finally do.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be like, dude, you should have seen me back when I was buying it. Like the amount of times I almost caught. Like you're gonna go on that entire rant.
Like the coloring book.
Which
I remind her of still.
Yeah,
I got you that coloring book. Yeah. So like. I'm scared I'm going to tell her, and like I want to tell her so bad about that whole experience, and I can't. So I'm glad I got it out here on the podcast, and you guys get to listen and maybe see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I think this is a good place to close it before you accidentally call her right now.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
On air and just be like, so Macy's and
yeah, right. Fucking dude, they would have had to scroll back and try to re-listen, and you just gave it again.
No worries. That's what the censor button is for.
JCPenney. Yeah, but I don't post that. You know that. Yeah, this is a good time. This has been fun. I like this take way better.
Yeah, I think so too.
We didn't force any topics. We just had fun.
Yeah, and I think the difference here is that it's something you actually cared about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Thanks,
if you guys liked it, show them the love.
Like, comment.
Subscribble,
if that's a thing. Yeah, peace. Oh, wait. Yeah. Are you oh, you're doing it. Sometimes I forget. I don't have the controls anymore.